and welcome. This is Professor Svark, and in this short video, I'm going to provide you with a brief introduction to Accounting 101 or Introduction to Financial Accounting. During this video, we'll just briefly do a welcome, highlight Blackboard, the syllabus, and the textbook, and talk about general expectations. Again, my name is Professor Svark. I've been teaching full-time at Harper since 2007. I do have a bachelor's in accountancy as well as a master's, an MBA from Northern Illinois University. Prior to teaching full-time, I did work in the accounting industry for 10 years. I think it's a fabulous career path for any of you that are thinking that way, or perhaps after this course may think that accounting is interesting at best. I would encourage you to talk to me about all the different opportunities in accounting. So what are your goals? And I'm going to suspect that most of you are not here to become accountants. Maybe some of you are, but many students that take Accounting 101 are satisfying business requirements. But I will tell you that I love Accounting 101. It's my favorite course to teach. And the reason is because it is the language of business. So every business uses accounting. It's the way that you communicate results. It's the way that you set expectations in budgets. And even if you're not going to be in the accounting field, chances are you will spend some time using those two means, whether it's budgets to ask for something, maybe some equipment or some advertising, those types of things, or to explain performance in a certain division. So accounting is very, very important to all businesses, and the better you have an understanding of it, the better off your business career will be. At Harper, because we feel that this is a language, so many people think it's math, and there's a little bit of math, but it's more language. So focus on this course as though you were taking a new language like Spanish or French. We provide a 4-credit hour allocation to this course because we know it will take you a lot of time. It is one of the toughest courses in the business curriculum. That being said, I think it's very doable. It's just that you need to approach it in the proper way, which this video hopefully will give you some insight and get you started in the right course to do so. And again, I like to continue to remind you, this is not a math course. So if you don't like math, you're in luck. You know, it's more about the language than it is the math. If you love math, you'll probably be okay too because there are numbers to it. So you'll still satisfy your number crunching feeling, but it is really not a math course. Again, best way to succeed through this course right off the bat is to treat it like a foreign language. All right, so you've obviously made it to Blackboard. You will see that you will go right into the announcements section, and I will provide you with an announcement at least twice a week. So I'll try to keep you on task. Our due dates for the course are Thursdays and Mondays. So your first due date will be this Thursday. The next due date will be Monday. So I keep in that pattern to make it easier on you. But you will not be able to gain access to anything until you complete the syllabus quiz. So that's located here in the orientation, the Start Here orientation, where you found this video. Once you complete the syllabus quiz, you will gain access to all of the course content, which is found up in this chapter coursework. Everything in this course is found in Blackboard. So all the homework, the exams, everything is located in Blackboard. So over the next 8 weeks, you will be referencing Blackboard quite a bit. Again, you will always go to the announcements. You will spend majority of your time in chapter coursework. There are 4 unit exams. Those exams, as well as practice, can be found in the exams and practice folder. And then you will be required to regularly contribute to the discussion board. Okay, so this top section is where you will spend most of your time. For reference and making sure that you understand your requirements, you want to stay down in this middle section. The syllabus, there's a syllabus built right into Blackboard, but there's also a printable syllabus. There's a calendar, again, built into Blackboard, as well as a printable calendar if you want to go ahead and print that out and put it next to your computer, or put it on your refrigerator and remind yourself. And then you can gain access to my information down here as well as your grades. If you are struggling with Blackboard or online content, down at the bottom you'll see that there's online course help, there's Harper services, so we have free tutoring, we have success services, all sorts of different resources on campus that can help you. So make sure that you read the syllabus. It's our contract. I'm not going to cover every bit of the syllabus in this online video. I think that might put you to sleep. But I'll highlight a few things, and then again, if you could read through it, make sure that you understand it. If you have any questions, send me an email or post an email to discussion board. Or I'm sorry, post a question to discussion board. Again, you have to take the syllabus quiz in order to gain access to the chapter materials. The syllabus quiz is ungraded, but it just kind of affirms the fact that you've looked through a few things in the syllabus and helps guide your review of it. Again, you can email me if you have any questions or send me a question on the discussion board. So if you go to the syllabus, you can read through. It's a lengthy syllabus, but it has everything that you need, including my information as well as drop dates and deadlines. In there, most of the students I think want to see, okay, what do I need to do? So we are going to cover 12 chapters of content, take 4 exams, and participate in discussion board. We will use WileyPLUS, which is an online homework management system that allows you to complete your homework online, see the correct answers, make sure that you understand it, and get some help when needed. I will have you post to discussion board, and I'll explain that in just a moment. And then we'll take 4 exams. Those exams, again, I'll give you some more information here in a minute, but those can be taken at home or in the testing center. So basically how this breaks out, it's very pattern oriented. Due dates every Monday and Thursday. You can expect an exam every 2 weeks. So each week we will cover either 2 chapters of coursework or 1 chapter of coursework and 1 exam. Now most of the students spend basically the night before the deadline doing their homework. So the homework is very doable in 1 evening or 1 day time frame. So that means you've got about 2 days of coursework per week. Now I want to caution you that that is not enough. So treating this course like a language, you really want to build in some study time throughout the week. My biggest recommendation would be using flashcards or some other form of practice using recall. So you'll want to go and create some flashcards to make sure that you understand the basic terms. Then, like every language, we'll start with some terms. Then we'll build in some additional input into that. In accounting, it's debits and credits. So then you want to build into those flashcards debits and credits and kind of how the different accounts work. So if you spend a little bit of time every day or most days of the week practicing that language, that is how you're going to build success in this course. We will complete 4 units. Each unit builds on the previous. So this is a course that you definitely want to make sure that you don't slack off in the first couple of weeks, especially the first couple of weeks. Most of the coursework is taught to you in the first unit. That's the foundation. So even, if you're not the strongest student, I want you to give me everything you have in the first 2 weeks, because if you do not understand the first 2 weeks of content, you are really going to struggle in future chapters. All right. So the course is completely based on points. This is homework points, exam points, discussion board points. So make sure that you do all your homework. It's going to make you a stronger student, and it's also going to pad your grade for those exams. So it's total points. I am not going to get to the end of the semester and give somebody that earned a B in the B category an A, or a D to a C. It's all points driven, and I'm not grading anything based on essays or those types of things. So really you need to learn the language and you need to get the points. So we have our online homework is using this WileyPLUS. So every due date you will have one set of homework. Each homework set is worth 20 points. When you enter the homework, each problem, you have 3 attempts to complete it. So you can try it, check my work. If it's not right, you can try it 2 more times. Now, I would encourage you to use your book because most of the time the book is going to guide you into the right path. But we can also use this discussion board if you're struggling, which means if you're struggling, you may want to complete your homework early enough that you can get some student input from your classmates. WileyPLUS is an online kind of like a quizzing set. So you'll get 1 Orion set per week, or I'm sorry, per chapter, not per week, but per chapter. And basically you'll take a quiz. It'll be 20 questions, and if you don't satisfy the requirement, which is 60%, so if you get 60% or higher on that quiz, the 20 questions, you get full credit. If you don't, you can keep working until you build 60%. So that's that's Orion. So you have homework, which is kind of more that traditional homework, and Orion, which is a quizzing activity. And then we have discussion board and, of course, the exams. So I'll talk about both of those. Well, I think I've got a different set for discussion boards. I want to point out, and I'll point it out again here, but this course does not provide any extra credit opportunities. So you want to make sure that you do the work on time and that you gain every point. For late work, if you are in WileyPLUS and you do late work, you will get a reduction of 50%. If it's Orion, there's no late work is accepted. Now, a couple of things, because I know it's summer, and I also know that this is an online course. So you can work ahead, and also if you've got a work commitment or something that comes up and you ask for an extension in advance, I will tend to give you an extra day or 2 to complete the work. I would say that most of the time I will. I'm not going to do it for every unit, but if you have, I understand it's summer. I understand that you guys are, might be working or taking a vacation, something along those lines. So I would encourage you to work ahead, but if you need that extension, don't be afraid to ask me for it. If it becomes a habit, I'm going to say no. But if you're a student out there and you're working and you're doing a good job and you come to me and say, you know what, my family's going away for the weekend, do you think I could have an extra day to complete homework? I'm most of the time going to say yes, unless you're abusing that by asking for an extension every single time. All right, there are 4 exams. Exams can be taken at home using a webcam and an application called Respondus Lockdown Browser. Now, what these 2 items do is that they videotape you taking the exam, and they lock down your screen so that you can't search the internet. So exams are closed note, closed book, no cell phone exams. So this video recorder is basically going to record you so that we know that you are taking the exam the way that you should be. If you feel uncomfortable using a webcam to take the exam, that's fine. You can go to the testing center on Harper's campus, or if you're not local to Harper, you can work it out with me and we can find you another college that will proctor the exam. The exams are all multiple choice, so it's 50 multiple choice questions per exam. The first 3 exams are just unit exams. The 4th exam is a cumulative exam, but I always tell students don't worry about that because the whole course is cumulative in nature. So by the time you get to the 4th exam, you should know the material well enough that the cumulative portion isn't too bad. All right, when you take the exam, you're going to get a screen that looks similar to this that will allow you to check to make sure that your webcam is working. It will ask you to show an ID and to show the room as well as front and back of your calculator and blank scratch paper. I allow you to have 2 pages of blank scratch paper, but you need to show the camera. Now, during these exams, I do need you to stay seated and to remain quiet. So if you have a roommate or something that bounces in the room, please warn them ahead of time and just shoosh them out of the room. I know I've got moms and dads, if your kids come in, just shoosh them out of the room or tell them to go. I understand that unplanned interruptions happen, but what I don't want is you guys to be taking phone calls or stopping the exam, turning away and leaving the room, those types of things. So I know I've heard the dogs bark, I've heard lots of different interruptions, but just make sure that it's, for the most part, in a quiet, uninterrupted location. You should not have another person in the room. Please, no headphones or music playing. You just need to sit and take the exam as though you were in a proctored setting. No cell phones, just blank scratch paper and your a single function calculator. And I will remind you of those things as we get closer to the exam. The textbook that we're using is Wiley's Financial Accounting Tools for Business Decision Making. I'm going to provide you with a few different options to buy it. If you've already bought it in the bookstore, that's great. If you try to buy an online copy or a used copy online, that's fine too, but I still need you to add the WileyPLUS code. And if you've already taken the course, then you don't need to buy anything. Your existing WileyPLUS code will still work. If you're undecided about how you want to proceed, there's online, it's cheaper to use an online textbook, but maybe you don't know how you're going to feel about that, right? I'm a person, I want a book, but maybe you want to save a few dollars and you want to try the online book. You get a free 2-week trial of the online book and Wiley code. Just know that that code does expire within 2 weeks. They will tell you the deadline, and you will be expected to buy a code at that point. So at that point, you can go to the Harper bookstore and buy the book and enter the code from the book, or you can buy a code at that point. And I should say all the information for that is in Blackboard. So I tell you the options that you have for buying online. The WileyPLUS, great tool. I know a lot of you are working late at night and maybe I'm not accessible, so you will get to your homework and you can do a check my work and it'll show you what you got right or wrong. So you can see that some of this is marked right, the little greens, and you may think that's kind of unusual because there's nothing in there, but it's right because there should not be anything in there. So this is asking for a set of journal entries, which may feel foreign to you right now, but as you progress, you'll understand what that means. And again, this particular homework assignment is 6 problems, and you can check your work 3 times. Now, if you get to the 3rd time, and you still didn't understand what to do, you can submit it and you can look at the solution. It will give you the solution as well as the calculations to how you get there. Okay, so if you're struggling, if you're trying to meet a deadline and you need just, you can get it and you got maybe 80% but not 100%, go in and learn from your mistakes. Okay, it'll show you what you got right or wrong, and it'll show you the right answers on that 3rd attempt. And I'm sorry, maybe this was just a little out of order, but here's your textbooks purchasing options. So you can buy, I gave you a link to buy a package for $131.95. If you want the actual book shipped to you, it's $6 for the actual book. So that's $137.95. It's a great bargain, but you really need to buy that within the first week. Okay. Otherwise, you can buy the book and the code, the WileyPLUS, that's a homework management code. So you need either this option, the $136.95, you can buy it in Harper's bookstore, or you can go ahead and purchase from online using the link in Blackboard. And the ebook would be $125.50. The WileyPLUS downloadable ebook, which I suppose you could print, for $156.95, and then a binder version for $185.95. Okay, and all of these give you the code to get onto the homework as well. All right, so if you have any questions, I highly encourage everybody to post general questions to my discussion board called Online Office Hours. This way we all can discuss. And sometimes what happens is I'm not home or I'm not on campus and somebody posts a question and another student knows the answer. So sometimes we can get answers quicker than if you just email me and I'm not available. So if it's a general, go ahead and post online office hours. If it's private, like you want an extension, you can email me privately. We are going to be required to post to discussion board every week. So these are the same Monday, Thursday deadlines as the homework. So here are the rules for discussion board. I expect 4 posts per week for full credit. Okay, so it's 5 points per week. Okay, for a total of 40 points. So again, you want to earn those points. So 4 posts per week. Okay, but here's what the posts can be. They can be any combination of questions. For example, I don't understand how to answer question, problem 1-5A. However, if you ask a question, I expect that you're going to provide more than, I don't know how to do this. I tried looking at the book on page whatever, or here's what I entered and it's wrong, or here's my calculation. So some sort of question, but not just a, I don't know how to do this. Okay, it's got to be a question and give some insight to how you are approaching it. You could give an answer. This is how you get that answer. Right? So first you have to have a question from a student. You could respond. You could also offer general recommendations. Hey, there's a great chart on page blah, blah, blah. Or I saw this video on YouTube. Or I found this great website. Okay? Any sort of recommendations to understanding the material can count as a post. And then finally, there's a summary of learning. So you could post, hey, in chapter 1, I learned all about financial statements. I thought it was interesting because, okay, so the summary of learning, think about that as, hey, if your mom asked you, what'd you learn in accounting this week? Go ahead and summarize what you learned. So you need to post 4 times during the week. 2 times by Thursday, 2 times by Monday. Okay, you can use any combination of these types of posts. What you cannot do is ask 4 of the same. So you cannot ask 4 questions or provide 4 answers or provide 4 recommendations or 4 summary of learnings. Okay, but any combinations, meaning you could do 3 answers and a recommendation. Okay. So let's see. So every due date you should be posting twice. And again, it could be a question and an answer, question and a recommendation, any combination. All right. So we've talked about WileyPLUS, we've talked about discussion board, and we've talked about exams. Those are going to be your primary deliverables every week on every Thursday and Monday. You should mark these due dates on your calendar. Okay? Again, you can print out the calendar and put it right next to your computer to keep you on task. Do not miss any assignments. I cannot tell you how many times students are very close to passing, but they didn't do 4 assignments, and therefore they do not pass. And now they have to retake the entire class because they missed homework. Homework points count towards your overall grade, and you need those points. I would recommend allocating blocks of study time. Remember to treat this course like a foreign language, and therefore you need to practice it like a foreign language. Put together some note cards, flashcards, or just little study guides for yourself, and spend 10 to 15 minutes at a time, whether that's sitting in a dentist's office, waiting for an appointment, waiting for your kid in a parking lot, I don't know, eating your breakfast in the morning. Just review your material. I would rather see you guys spend time, little chunks of time reviewing versus 1 4-hour session. Because just like you can't learn French in a 4-hour session right before the exam, you are not going to be able to learn accounting without building that foundation a little bit. Seek help when you need it. So Harper has a tutoring center. I'm available. Use your classmates, but don't put it off. This is an 8-week session, and we're going to learn a really good portion of the language in the first 2 weeks. Don't be too busy during those first 2 weeks. If you are, you may want to drop and take it again in June or in August or January. So find a time when you can actually devote your study time and where you're not going to be putting it off saying, I'll get to it after this vacation, or I'll get to it after this. This is a course that you need to stay on top of it in order to succeed. All right, and then I think I've already brought this point home, but I'm going to say it again. So in addition to completing the homework, you may need to make time to study. Okay, and again, that study time does not need to be in hour blocks. 15, 20 minutes, 10 minutes over breakfast, over your breaks at work. Okay, all of that time builds up, and it's actually very beneficial to do small chunks rather than one large. All right, so that's it for my orientation. I am here to support you. Please send me emails, post a discussion board, let me know how I can help you. But let's go forward and get this course started.